Back now with the 3-year-olds. I think you guys got a pretty good idea of what's going on with the 3-year-olds now. Just looking for a little clarity of what I feel and what direction we're taking with a horse like Adrenaline Rush. Nomwers a 3 on Tuesday if he's not good enough. Again, lots of classes for these horses. For the pacers that can pace in 53, 54, 55, 56, we can find spots for them. No problem whatsoever. So Adrenaline Rush will try his luck at Georgian Downs on Tuesday. Better's Hope is also in on Tuesday in the maiden. I'd love to see this horse get around Georgian, because if he can't get around Georgian, there's going to be a problem for him for the rest of the summer. So we'll see how he makes out at Georgian Downs on Tuesday. Blue Monk, I think, you know, I know Harry loves this horse. I know he likes him a lot. But at the same time, I think this is a quintessential horse to explain the position that we as a stable are going to take this summer. If they can't do, they got to go. And if they can't do in the class we're in, find a better one for them. I want our horses going on the track 8-5, 9-5, 2-1, 3-1, not 45-1. And Blue Monk is not a Mohawk horse. Just isn't. So I'm going to go to the exact opposite side of the spectrum. I'm going to tell Harry, listen, just put him in the condition claimer at Georgian or Grand River if you want. 15 claimer, Nomwers a 10, 12, whatever he fits. But that's where he has to go. So, and Brilliant Corner's up next. Same thing. I love the horse. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's not as good as I think he is. Right? Fine. I guarantee you we can find a class he can thump. Find that class. And I don't care where it is. And I don't care what it is. For those of you out there who said to me this week, why is First Glance at Kawartha? Oh my God, Walk on the Moon's racing for 4,800? Yep. Yeah, they are. Because that's where they can win. Right? You finish 5th in a maiden at Mohawk. Let me see. They go for 16. That's 8, 4, 2, 1. So that's $500-$600. I think it makes much more sense to put our horses in one where they can win and build confidence, and 2 where they can maximize every single start they're in. Right? Walk on the Moon, A+ by Mario. I'll be honest. I had nothing to do. I didn't know he was even entered until yesterday when somebody had said that great horse and Walk on the Moon, Mario's got to leave to go to Kawartha. I didn't know that. It was a great job. Put them in where they can win. Fantastic job by Mario putting them both in exactly. Now, that doesn't mean we just focus on Kawartha Downs with Walk on the Moon. No. But I guarantee you, after the mile he gave him yesterday, much better horse. Much better horse for it, and very, very happy. We were accused and probably found guilty of racing him in a little tougher than we should have last year. The Wellwood, rings a bell. But at the same time, he was right on the precipice. He was on the tipping point. Could we not? An argument was made to race him in it. Mario wanted to race him in it. Great. We all make mistakes. But for the love of God, you got to win races too. You got to put the horses in where they can do good. And, racing those horses the way he did yesterday was very smart. So, Brilliant Corners, same thing. Blue Monk, Brilliant Corners. There are races out there these horses can win. Just got to put them in them. That's all. Can't Muscle Me, I see he's in to go at Grand River. This is a filly here. She's got something to prove. And this is a filly that the lockdown really hurt her. She needed that time to race. There just wasn't anywhere we could race her. And it's unfortunate. You've seen this. There's a number of horses that we had, and a number of horses that we have that needed those race lines and just couldn't get them in. Blue Monk, one of them. There's a horse that was on a 2-race win streak when they had the lockdown. He could have done, he could have raced 4 or 5 more times, 6 times. So we'll see. But Can't Muscle Me, again, we'll see how she races on Wednesday. I know Harry's got her as good as he can, and where she ends up is where she ends up. I'm not going to coddle her or any of the other horses. They're there now. If it just turns out that she can't do in a maiden because she needs a lot more experience and maturity, maybe she's not a horse we keep then, I guess. But we have to do that together. We'll have to look and see and judge every start. I'm not going to judge her on Wednesday. However she races, I'll talk to Scott Coulter, who's driving her. I'll talk to Harry after. We'll take a look at her. We'll give her a few starts, and we'll see how she races. But for right now, obviously Harry's doing the best he can. But he has options, right? Especially with those 2 pacing colts. He has tons of options. So we'll see what ends up happening there. First Glance, as I said, Mario, great job with that horse yesterday. That horse looked great. First time in an open bridle. I don't know if many of you caught that. But he just looked like a more comfortable, confident animal. That's what happens when you put him in with horses he's supposed to beat. Gray is the New Red. Oh my God. Talk about 2 different ends of 2 different bookends. Gray is the New Red just can't do. I've told everybody this. we had her in the sale, then we kept her because she went for 11.7, and I still think she's worth probably more than 12,000. I think that's fair. She's going to pay some 56, but that's following horses that go in 55. We didn't put her at the fairs because if we're not sure Well and Down is going to do, I guarantee you, I just want to make it clear, it's unfair to the horses and to our clients sometimes, but a horse like Grey as a New Red might not be good enough to win fair 3-year-old pacing events. Maybe not. Jason wanted to race her in the maiden because she came flying late in the last one. Looked like she could win that race. To ship her 3 hours to Paulding, what we were worried about was that those extra entries might make there was 3 divisions. I wasn't taking either of them to race for $2,000. That was not going to happen. This is a 2-hour and 40-minute ship minimum to Paulding to race for $3,700 with Well and Down. And Well and Down might be very well sold after this race. So Grey as a New Red, nice filly. I wasn't disappointed. She's just not good enough. That's really the reality of the situation. And for the people out there that think, we'll just keep her and race her, I just can't do that. We have to have a better idea of how the stable is put together, and we have to have horses that are competitive. And if they're not competitive, take a breath, look around and see if there's somewhere to race them. And if there's not, you really just answered your own question. Sure, there's going to be people out there that would love to race Grey as a New Red and finish 3rd and 4th in the maiden, maybe take her to a place like Michigan or race her in a place like Harrington or Maine or somewhere like that, but it's not us. And, we've gone over and over and over this, and, at the end of the day, it just is what it is. A horse like her, nice filly, pretty horse, it's just not good enough. GW Chrome is gone now. There's another horse, and this isn't me picking on a horse I don't like. I like Grey as a New Red, right? I loved GW Chrome. Raced him last night and he finished 8th at Tioga Downs. There's no slam dunks on these horses. And, for a horse like GW Chrome, I think he was probably sick last night. I'm sure he'll come back and race well for the connections in his next races, but there's no gimmies anywhere. And just assuming that we're going to put them in and they're going to do is silly. So, who else do we have? Holy Chick. We sold Holy Chick for the exact same reason as Grey as a New Red. Went to qualifier. She was still striking her jack a little bit. 1 mile and 2-1. Decent mile. It's 2 seconds faster, and she's 2 seconds slower than she's going to have to go in the maiden. So, and for her interfering a little bit, it's going to be tough to get her around those fairs. So, answered her own question in our conversation about her. Aglaire AM will probably race next week. I tried to get her into the Aqua Spa, and this is the weirdest thing in the world. This is the first time this ever happened. Can't take the mare, Anthony, because we have nobody to work here. They had no employees. It was Kevin Johnson doing the whole thing. I could have sent him out to the other place. Sent her out to the other place, I guess. Tim thinks she trained great the other day and wasn't hitting her leg that bad. So we'll see. We'll race her this week, and then I think she's probably going to spend most of the summer out at that Aqua Spa. Now they did finally, after 2 weeks, got some help back out there, but that's not just horse racing. As I said, I've said this multiple times. Here, I don't think there's been a store I've walked into here that doesn't say help wanted. In fact, even at the McDonald's at the corner, it said help wanted, pick your hours. Pick your hours. That's how bad they're looking for people to work here right now. Where are we at? I'm a Lovely Lady. Has been racing great all year long. She drew the rail. She's going to help herself with the rail. Luke Ebersol's driving her Wednesday. I'm in Harrington, so good luck to my partners on the I'm a Lovely Lady group. Italian Grit is with Travis in Ontario. He's racing Wednesday at Grand River, so that's going to be fun. Jazzy Judy, can't wait to go to Harrington. Not many people say that. Can't wait to go to Harrington to race on Wednesday. I got to fly to Philadelphia. I suspect there's going to be a screw up on the way home. I'm going to miss my flight on the way home, which means I'm going to have to stay over in Philadelphia, fly out the next morning, try and get to the track on time to qualify, then get to the Meadows in time to race horses on Thursday, then get back. I guess I'm racing Thursday at the Meadows, and then Friday at the Meadows. Maybe I'll just stay. Maybe Amy and I and the kids will go to the Meadows on Thursday. Welcome to my summer. Miss Meringue is back going. She's going to start training this week again. She's had light training, but this will be her first week of harder training. It won't take her long to get her ready once we get her feet under her, once we get her legs good, once we get her ready to go. it won't take long to get this filly close to qualified. So Miss Meringue is in heavier training this week. Mama Knows Best in heat bad the other day. She drew the 8-hole this week. He's gonna have instructions. Don't leave with her. I'd like to see the filly ducked, raced easy. A little more confidence built into Mama Knows Best. There's a long summer, and out of the 8-hole and the non-winners of 4, whatever, just use your head. My Jazz finally got my go to one of the opening videos there. You'll see Jason and I talked for 5 or 6 minutes about My Jazz and what the issue was. Finally figured it out with a lot of help from some people that are pretty sharp horse people also. So My Jazz now is under control. It's just a matter of patching that up, getting it right. The timeline is good for July the 5th for the Buckeye. One of our clients said, well, I don't think you're right, Anthony. The Sire Stakes is where she's going. No, she's not going to the Sire Stakes. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that's a deep group of horses. They were tough last year, and they're tough again this year. We are going to go to the Buckeye on July 5th with her. That will be her next race. So we're looking for a qualifier and a fast training trip into My Jazz in the near future. What about No Free Lunch last night? Qualifier in 58, and I fielded a ton of angry emails after his first qualifier. What's wrong with lunch? This horse doesn't look like the same horse. And that's fine. I guess that was a lack of communication on my part to explain what we were trying to achieve. He come back with a very good qualifier with Mario the next week, 55-27 on the end, and then paced 51-2, 51-3 last night, and looked really good. I guess that little greedy voice inside me said he should have went by, but 51, his first lifetime start, can't ask for much more than that. Where are we at now? Northern Blizzard's in on Tuesday. I guess my only concern was he's just getting him shod today. Blacksmith couldn't do him before today. It's a little close to the race for him, but at the same time, he needs done. This is a colt that I got really, really high expectations for this summer. So interested to see how he's going to race on Tuesday. I would say I'm going to try and temper my expectations for Tuesday. I guess somewhere inside me, I want to see him win in 55, but at the same time, I want to see him get off on the right foot this year. Perfect Record apparently is going to qualify without hobbles on Tuesday. I'm going to get some popcorn for this one, because I'm very surprised if this horse has graduated from where he was his whole life to now he can go without trotting hobbles. That will be an impressive trick. I would love to see that on Tuesday. Rose Run Why Not will be back going this week again. We've had a couple of little stumbling blocks with both her and Miss Meringue. Nothing too serious, just things that needed addressing, and it cost them time. Frustrating issues, but nonetheless, they are what they are, and we will get her going, her and Miss Meringue in the very near future. So Admirable, first and second in the last 2 starts, drew the 7-hole, but I mean, all jokes aside, it looks like she's much better than those non-winners of 2 or maiden, whatever she's in, horses at Saratoga. So I think the name of the game is confidence and consistency, and I think Mark Beckwith has got a good handle on both with this filly now, heading into her start this week at the Meadows. Also, Sweet Ambitions back into, not the Meadows, Saratoga. Sweet Ambitions heading back into race at Saratoga this week. I see she's entered in to go there. She raced well her last start, finished second. The horse in the front looked like a runaway winner, and she looked good, finishing second. Tanzanite Tricks, he likely race Thursday at Mohawk, I would imagine. Good mile 58 into her. I'm expecting good things from her also. She's got a few little stakes in New Jersey at the end of the season, but interested to see what she's going to do at the start of the season. That's My Girl the other day. A lot of people probably threw their hands up in the air and thought that was That's My Girl just making a break. It wasn't. That was the best she's ever been in her entire life. She was going to jog and her hobbles broke. Not much you can do about it. I wanted to get angry, but at the same time I come off the track, and I think Jason knew I was seething just because it was turning out to be a bad day. Now it's pouring rain and the hobbles broke. He said, hold on, that strap, second time we've ever used it was tonight. So as Jason said in his video, if you work at Jack's, maybe double check your stitching on your trotting hobble strap, please. Tipsy and Dixie was fantastic, her first start, so Harry's off to a flying start. No Free Lunch, Tipsy and Dixie both looked very, very good. Walk on the Moon looked incredible. That is what that horse needed. There's no other way to put it. That is what that horse needed. So a great move by Mario. One, he drove him good, drove him very aggressively, but how he needed to be. If he was going to step back to Mohawk next week, he needed a mile like that into him. Just everything was perfect yesterday. Great job by Mario on Walk on the Moon. I'm very, very happy. Were we welcome? Ooh, he's got her in to go at Mohawk already. Sent the filly to Carmen. I think this filly just needs a lot of work. Her attitude is lacking at some point, and if you can get her back into that frame of mind she was in when she first came here, when she first went to the Meadows, I think you'll have a good filly for the rest of the summer, but that'll be up to Carmen. Well and Down, again, this filly is now run out of classes. That's just the way it is. I thought there was one more class. She might be able to do with the Meadows. I was watching the class. Non-winners of 2, but not more than 3. Then the first division went like 55, and I'm like, oh, good, she can go there. Next division went in 52 and 3, where she would get throttled. So we entered her at the fairs. I think we'll probably end up selling Well and Down. As I said, this day was coming. There's just simply no classes. She cannot do in the non-winners of 4 at Northfield Park. She cannot do in the class at the Meadows. She'll have to win a condition claimer again somewhere around Scioto. And one of our clients, Bill Donnelly, that owns a third of this filly already, has offered to buy everybody out. I think we'll probably accept. And I know there's probably a couple of people that don't want to out there, but at the end of the day, as I said, we need to be able to race our horses in a consistent manner. And we cannot race this filly. It's not her fault. She is a sweetheart. She's run out of classes in Ohio. And Won My Heart Hanover, I don't think, I guess the break would make it a failed attempt with no hobbles on. But at the same time, I think the flip-flops played a role in the fact that we had raced her and trained her down her whole life with hobbles on, some of the time quite tight. And now we've asked her to race without them. Just a little too much for her heading into that first turn. There needs to be confidence and consistency. It seems to be the phrases of the day today, but they have to be instilled into her without hobbles on. I'm going to go school her. We're going to change her shoes, take the flip-flops off her, and we're going to school her Tuesday at the Meadows. So I'm going over to Qualify Path of Totality and school Won My Heart Hanover. So Tuesday could be a big day for those 2 fillies in Washington, Pennsylvania. So those are the 3-year-olds. I think I still got some stables to do. I'm going to come back and do them, but for the most part, we are well through our videos now here on a beautiful Sunday in Ohio.